Tracking animals can be such a fun game of sensing the generative nature of simply asking questions. Warning, it may be hard to avoid the urge to throttle the moment for answers at first. I would certainly empathize with you on that, but perhaps you can distract yourself from that by imagining releasing your questions like dandelion seeds dancing on the wind. They seem to land and germinate in the darndest places. Or maybe you can sense your questions shine like that glorious new light freshly flooding a patch of forest floor after a tree falls, and which tickles to life a curious collection of sleeping seeds. Or it's possible you notice how nature appears to abhor a vacuum and sense how the void of answerlessness seems to effortlessly pull answers in toward you over time. So I think a good tracker is therefore someone who's just on the pulse of the questions that are juicy and ripe in the moment. An experienced tracker may have more answers, which, don't get me wrong, is also super fun. But I'd say it's mostly just because they've spent more time asking questions and have shared with lots of others who have done the same. Another advantage of seeking questions more often than answers in tracking is that this skill requires a great deal of noticing, and answers that show up inside you often seem to just stand in the way of further observations once they've formed, especially in the beginning of your tracking journey. However, I do wish you a great laugh at yourself if one day you find that you've decided fervently that these tracks in the sand here, for example, must be of a tiny bicycle, until you look down the trail to discover this little one. So I invite you then to join the growing pool of people splashing about in the endless fountain of imagination that it can be to let yourself ask with abandon about the lives of the more than just human world.